I'm Frank Korb. Welcome to The Art of Collage. We're going to be working on, creating a collage. I've already got one started. Kind of in the very beginning, again, National Geographic, great magazine. To help us in the cutting process, it's very hard to cut from a magazine. This I should have said in the beginning. So what I'll do is I'll tear the whole page out and use that. So anyways, that's that. Gather your images, flip through your magazines, pull any image. If you like color, if you like faces, if you like text, if you like shapes, just take pages. I spent probably 40 minutes just pulling imagery. Oh, that's a sad image. For mine, and then cutting textures, cutting all these different shapes out. So lots of imagery, lots of ideas. The idea behind collage, in the event you don't know this already, is to take objects from different sources and cutting them out, little pieces of paper, fabric, cloth, what have you, and put them together to create the idea of a new composition. Well, I've begun that by using a lot of different materials from, a lot of different imagery from things like my National Geographic magazines. I've gone through the process of sorting some of them, and I've actually gone through the process of getting some things started to help speed things up. To deal with the sky, I use little bits and pieces of things like blue from water and blue from building materials and simply blue from advertising. To create the idea of grass, I've got all sorts of different greens from different mountainsides and forests and all that cut into small, tiny little pieces and then assembled to the piece of paper like this. I'm using a tacky glue stick. And so I spent a good amount of time, about a half hour, 40 minutes, assembling everything that you've got here. I established a horizon line to separate the sky from the ground. And now we're going to start inserting some people and some figures. So just to kind of clarify here, these small pieces I would glue up like so, and then insert that piece onto the collage. Notice there's no white space seen. I do have a frame that's going to go over this, so I've kind of got a feel for how big it's going to be in the end. In addition, I've got some other objects that I'm going to incorporate into this piece, playing around with the horizon a little bit. We've got some buildings, so we'll go ahead and put those in. One of the other things about building a collage is I spent a lot of time planning for this. So this wasn't something that just random pieces of paper put down, but this was a well-planned composition. So before I even dealt with gluing anything down, I laid out my ideas on my piece of paper and started to assemble it there. So before you start gluing things down to your paper, make sure you lay things all out. In fact, after I get these buildings laid in, I will show what I'm saying. I think I'm going to save that one for another time. So before I finish laying things in, I've got a group of people that I'd like to put here on the horizon. This large figure is going to go here. I have got this great little pigeon that's going to be here. I've created a flower. Now I want you to notice that this flower was made out of the arm of the Statue of Liberty. This purple is from a sunset on a bit of water, and the center of my flower is a sun, or it's a star, not the sun, but a star, a star. My bird is a pigeon, and then I've got I got an advertising gecko eye for his eye, and then my lovely person here, we've cut out a couple of eyes from one figure, a mouth from another, and then this cup of coffee and a pretzel, a little bit large. So think about the scale in which you can work. It doesn't have to be exactly to scale. So I'm going to go through here and finish gluing things in. I've got my landscape all set. And so I'm going to put my people on the horizon because I want my population to be in there. I've also cut out some clouds. Now, notice that my clouds are a little rougher around the edges. Instead of, and it's just like my grass here, instead of dealing with a scissors, I have cut these with my hand. I tore them out of a piece of paper. And so I'm going to glue these down in the background. Now, I've done a lot of pre-work, so you didn't have to see me adding all of this stuff to it. I know that my person, oh, look at the back side of that person. I'm going to put my person here. So I kind of want to think about that frame. Where's that frame going to be? I'm going to keep my person within the picture plane. I probably also have a piece of scratch paper to glue on top of as to not get my table all sticky. But I'm working in a studio, so I can wash that off later. Kind of figure, where is this figure going to go? There's good. Let's see. Kind of move this person over a little bit. There we go. I love that gigantic hand right there. Huge hand covering up from background to foreground. My flower is going to go in. Oh, where's my flower going to go? I might cover up my pretzel with my flower. I'm not sure. Let's see. So the collage is built from lots and lots of little bits and pieces of non-related material. There we go. We got our flower up here. I'm going to put the bird in next. Get some glue on my pigeon. Put this bird, kind of cover up into the flower. There we go. And my last little bit, I cut some grass out of, this was the Statue of Liberty as well. A lot of Statue of Liberty imagery here today. And I'm going to put this over so that I've got my recording happening here right now. That's okay. We'll edit that bit out. I'm not going to edit anything out here. And so this is the end of my collage. So I built up my collage from lots and lots of little bits and pieces from all over the place. I want you to think about how you're building your collages. Don't just necessarily take one person, cut a person and different eyes and a mouth. Build up your background. In fact, for the windows, I think I should put some other rectangles in there as non-window windows, but yeah, I think for the time's sake, I'll avoid that, maybe afterwards. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can add that underneath in the comments. But this is collage, using lots of little bits and pieces from all sorts of things. Thanks very much. Take care.